let's say you're new to whiskey, you're just tuning into this channel, and you're saying, I got $200. What do I need to do, Devin, to start a whiskey bar? Well, we're going to tell you.
After this. All right, and we're back. So you got $200 to spend for a bar. Or your boss is like, hey, we're going to have a couple of VIPs over. Go to the bar. Go to the store and get some bourbon. Here's $200 and let's make this thing happen for this little party. What are you going to get that can appease all your guests or have a nice little spread, spread or a little charcuterie board for all your favorite fans of bourbon? So, Todd, you want to start it off?
Sure. So, if I'm looking to start my bar, when I did like to start my bar, I kind of started like, what are kind of the mixes of different things people may want? Yeah. Now, personally, when I like cocktails, I like my cocktails with a rye, right? Because I feel rye shines through a little bit. And one rye I find that I think mixes well with cocktails is Rittenhouse, which comes in around $27 in Ohio. Okay. So to me, I'm going to stock my bar. I'm going to have a Rittenhouse. It's going to be my rye. You can drink it neat. It's perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. It's great in cocktails, but it's a rye that's not too high priced. It's a Kentucky rye with a high corn content, so it doesn't chase people away who have never really had rye. It's a nice introduction and something you should have on your bar for mixers or for people who are new to rye.
Yep. Well, let's see what we got here. I went with what is a do-it-all bourbon that people are really enjoying right now, and some can find, some can't find, but Buffalo Trace. It is a great do-it-all bourbon. It's a good, not age-stated, but like that 6 to 9 year small batch or whatever bourbon that, really does it all. I mean, it's good neat. It's good in a cocktail. It's pretty good. So I went with the Buffalo Trace.
There you go. So I kind of looked at the same category with my next one. I want a do-it-all bourbon, something that's really nice with cocktails or something I can drink neat. And I picked Wild Turkey 101, right?
Bing!
Yeah. So this is what my wife uses to signify our signed bottles. And Devin actually took the one off the Buffalo Trace. But so Wild Turkey 101 is a nice mixer for a cocktail. I can sip it neat. I can put it on ice. It's kind of that general solid do-it-all bourbon around that $28 price point.
Yeah. Also 27-ish bucks.
Yeah.
In the area. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go back to kind of like a do-it-all, but like this is a kind of like Todd's first one, a little higher rye bourbon, but at the same time, it's a good proof, good price, and it gives a little bit more panache than the Buffalo Trace on the mouthfeel at 114 proof. Old Granddad 114, usually around, depending on $20, $30, $25, I'd say. And pretty good. It gives you a nice mouthfeel. Like the price for the proof is pretty good. So I went with the Old Granddad 114.
There you go. All right. So for my next bottle, I said, well, I've got my two mixers. I've got a rye mixer. I've got a bourbon standard that can be mixer. You can drink either one neat if you really needed to. But my next one, I wanted a bottle that was really meant to be drank neat.
Yeah.
You know, that's really nice and it's not going to chase people away. So I didn't want something high proof at this point. Old Forester 1910. Fantastic, neat sipper. Nice and sweet and dark. And it's just really easy to go down. So that lower proof at 93 proof, but a really great palate. And, you know, I'm mixing these. This one I'm sipping neat, especially for beginners.
Yeah. So in Ohio, it's around $55, but like it's pretty desserty, pretty good. So along with that, I also went with a somewhat desserty tasting bourbon. So I went with a Woodford Double Oaked. I figured these are like apples and oranges, different distillers, but same
they're both
parent
they're
company.
both Bailey Double Oaked.
Yeah. So both Brown-Forman juice, but they're both very readily available. But they're in the same price point, same almost proofish, 90.4 versus 93. But they're both very good. So I feel like you could do well with either of them. So yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't really blown a budget on any of these bottles at this point. Like my mixers, they got a nice neat sipper. I kind of now said I needed the bottle that was a standout, especially for people who maybe already enjoy whiskey, want something a little stronger. So I'm going with an Elijah Craig barrel proof.
Dun, 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 dun.
Around $80. Kind of rounds out my close to 200 bottles.
Yeah.
You got fantastic proofs, fantastic mouthfeel. You got good age statements. I mean, you're usually doing what, 10 to 12 years or whatever with your barrel proofs on your various batches, and you're ranging between 120, 130 plus proof. So to me, this was kind of like, you know, I'm building my way up with my mixers. I've got a nice, neat sipper, lower proof, and now I got my heavy hitter.
Yep.
That's kind of how I'm starting out my collection.
Anywho, here's my heavy hitter. So I went with a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. So a lot of people like Jack. Some people that don't might not know how good these are. So it's a little bit cheaper than Elijah Craig, but it really delivers on the flavor, that banana forwardness, and it can also be kind of tied into that desserty, but a barrel proof offering. So I went with the Jack Daniel's, and then if your crowd really doesn't want that like huge high proof, banana flavory, we got a little full proof. So I also went with the Benchmark full proof. So to round this out with that like 27, 25ish, 55ish, 70ish, and 23ish. Comes in right around that $200 price point, and you kind of get a little bit more like flavor and price point offerings, a really solid like full flavor barrel proof offering, a nice desserty flavor, kind of bourbon, and then just a do-it-all mixer. So these are our picks for our top $200-ish bar, or your boss is like, here's $200, go make it happen. Yep. We got customers or something coming in, or you just want to have a good $200 night, and you're like, well, let me try a bunch of different stuff and have some people over.
Let us know if you got a $200 budget. What are the bottles you're picking? It'd be nice. I love it when people put in our comments, so this is what I think. It's always nice to compare.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe and like button, and stay tuned for future videos. And until then, remember, the best bourbon or whiskey.
It's one you like the most.
We'll see you guys.
See ya.